March 11th, I would like to call to order this meeting of the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Committee at 6:31 p.m. So the first item on the agenda is to review and act on the minutes of February 12th. Did everybody get a chance to look at those?
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy, but my name is spelled wrong.
Oh, sorry.
It's
What is
okay.
it?
It's okay. I just, it's Freddi, and I think it probably just auto-corrected to Freddie. It's only spelled wrong once, because the other time it's spelled
Okay.
correctly. So it was probably just an autocorrect mistake. I just,
Happy to change it.
thank you, sorry. It's just it's a thing that happens. I'm used to it.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty much it. I did have another thing to ask, like, not about these minutes, just about the minutes in general. I don't know if this is a good time or if I should save that till the end.
Let's just finish
Did
this
this part,
part,
and
and
then
then we'll
I'll
move
move this
on
to
to
the
your
end.
question.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So I think we can vote on the minutes. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to do it by roll call because Adeola is online. So may I have a motion to approve the minutes of February 12th?
Yes, I do.
I vote yes.
Okay, so you second the motion?
I second the motion.
Okay, so we have to do it by roll call, and I'll start with me then. I approve.
Bindu approves.
Adeola,
I approve. Fabiola
Freddie,
I approve.
and Holly.
I approve.
Okay, so the meeting minutes for February 12th are approved. The next item on the agenda is to review and act on the clerk's resignation and to elect a new clerk. So I believe Taylor forwarded Freddie's email to everyone. She's resigning as our clerk. And Holly had expressed some interest.
I would be willing to.
Would be willing to, okay. And so we would have to elect a new clerk. And so I nominate Holly,
I second.
okay? And we'll do a roll call for all who approve.
I approve.
Adeola,
I approve.
Freddie,
I approve.
and Holly, I guess.
I would accept
I
and
would accept,
approve.
right, okay. All right, so then Holly is elected our new clerk. And if we did this wrong, I'm sure we'll find out before the next meeting.
In the
And
meantime,
we'll revote. all
in the
over
meantime, you can still take notes.
Thank you.
again. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you, Holly.
No problem.
Okay, the next item on our agenda is to discuss planning for the April Community Roundtable at the Shrewsbury Public Library. So the room is booked for Thursday, April 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. And we, at the last meeting, we had mentioned to start advertising it about 3 weeks before the event. So we can put it out on the community bulletin, and then Priya will put it out on the
Library.
the library bulletin. So I'm sending her the write-up for it today. And our goal for this forum is to set our fall agenda, right, by asking the community members what
they
they want to see us doing.
Yeah.
And also to help promote our Juneteenth and Pride events.
Yes.
Did I leave anything out? Okay.
Sub goal would probably be just let people know we exist.
Correct, right?
But
Just so that
that's-
people are aware that we're here and that, so
Basically, everything that we do, including the multicultural event that we did last year, is going to come back this year from the senior center, I think. So we can throw that in there.
yes.
At least we know
absolutely.
this is going to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So what's the format that we would like to use?
Like a round table.
Okay.
Right? So we want people to participate, we want
Okay.
people to talk. We talked about possibly having it be Zoom and interactive, right? Because we want people to give us their opinion about
Yeah.
what they want to see us do.
Would there also be like an option for like people emailing in questions in advance, or is that not something that could easily be applied to this?
I mean, I don't think we have like a,
An easy way to.
an easy way to do
email.
that in
Yeah.
Do a
just,
form.
yeah, I mean, we could do like maybe like a Google form, right? Where people can click on the link and,
Yeah, I mean,
and do it that way.
it would probably be
Still
better
goes
if
to
people
Taylor.
just show
Still
up
goes
and go
to
to
Taylor,
Zoom.
yeah.
So the thing is, Taylor is swamped with lot.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
so,
That is like, we can create the form, we can send her the link, but everything goes to her.
I think then we should not do that.
Yeah, the
Just-
turnaround
she's
time, yeah.
Very,
I mean,
Busy.
in terms of making a Google form, right? Like I
Yeah.
can put together a Google form that
Yeah.
just asks one question, you know, what would you like to see the the committee do, right? And then we can
Or-
attach that to our write-up.
yeah.
And when we post it on the community bulletin, you know, people
Yeah.
can,
I
We
don't
could
mind
also-
that, but I don't know what the protocol is. I know that all communication initially was told that has to go through her. So I just want to make sure that we're doing the right thing.
okay, I can double check, but.
Yes,
We
please.
could also, maybe instead of doing that, we could also have like a box at the event in case someone has something they want to
Yeah.
ask, has
Or
something they want to
we
say.
can
but
put
is
it up right now
too
too,
nervous
Yeah.
to-
or DEIB suggestion box.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
just,
As soon as we're making it, we have the date for the library.
Right.
Yeah.
We just need a box that says DEIB suggestion box, meeting on
Yeah.
this date. So that's
Yeah.
like an advertisement, but I don't know. Library has so much stuff out there, you
Yeah.
kind of miss out a lot of things.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because my thing with having, I want people that may feel too shy to actually
Mm.
speak to us with words to feel like their voices are being heard, because I know I have been that in my life. And it's always like in roundtable discussions in school, it was always, oh, well, there's a written component that you turn into the teacher, and that's how you get graded, so you don't need to
Yeah.
Yeah.
raise your hand, and that was always helpful for me as a shy person,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking we could maybe have like a poster with some sticky notes, and people
Yeah.
could write on the sticky notes and just put it on. You know what I mean? So-
Yeah.
So it's we're all contributing to the one thing, and you don't necessarily have to.
Yeah.
I think that I would want to encourage people to come.
Yeah.
You know, as
That's
opposed
what I
to.
Yeah.
would want,
I'd want to
yeah.
encourage
Yeah,
people to
as
come, but
opposed
if
to
someone
have-
comes and doesn't want to be like, I have a question, they can.
Right, they can write
give
it
us
down,
something,
like we
yeah.
did that for our last forum, right, we handed out cards, and so, and so we can accommodate different, you
Okay.
know, levels of participation.
Yeah,
But I think I would want to encourage people to come in person.
Yeah.
If they can,
Mhm.
or,
yeah, absolutely.
or online if we're going to be able to do that, because then they
Um,
can put questions in like the chat box or whatever.
I like this part. The last time we did the forum, we had a good attendance, but we would like more people to participate. So my question is about advertising. How are we going to, we are going to reach community advocate
Community bulletin,
bulletin, but
Mhm.
not the newspaper or
we
something?
could,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah, I have a contact for the for the
Community advocate.
community advocate person, and so we can just email and see how we.
What
can-
about our local TV? Is there a place that they like have a running meeting or something that they show what's coming up? Like I know the library has a big TV that they show what classes they're going to offer and what they're,
Mhm.
so it keeps moving like a slideshow, if you will. So what I was wondering is where are the places? Who are we targeting? In the sense, who do we want involved? Students, adults,
Everyone.
teachers?
Yeah.
So we need to send out to those departments too?
Mhm.
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
I mean, so if we do the community bulletin, that goes out to like all the students, right? That goes out to get, anybody that has a kid in the school gets those emails. If we do the community advocate, right, some people read that, I
yeah.
mean,
because
And
they
then
get it in
the-
person and on email, so.
yeah, and then the people who are looking at the library,
I would say send it to the speech and debate section of the schools because the kids are active and vocal in that too, and they know the current issues
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen that they talk about it.
Okay,
If you want, I can do that too.
please, yes.
Yeah, we could also post it on, like, if we have a event link or a Zoom link or a registration link or something, we can post it on our Facebooks if we have friends that
Right.
live in Shrewsbury that would see it. 'Cause
Better
I know I
Shrewsbury,
still
yeah.
Yeah.
am Facebook friends with everyone I was ever Facebook friends with in high school. Um,
Yeah.
don't know, many of them still live here, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think the mistake we made last time was to not advertise it sooner.
Mm.
yeah.
And so that's why we mentioned starting it at, at least 3 weeks in advance to give people time to,
So as far as we know, what our timetable looks like is April, we have this, then we said Juneteenth and Pride event.
so we can move on to the next item. So
Oh, is there a next, sorry. I was just wondering, what does the calendar look like for DEIB? These are the events that we are planning.
these are the events that we are planning, yes.
Yeah.
So April 25th, the community forum, and then 2 events in June.
Okay.
And then our goal is to hopefully get community involvement at the forum to help us set
Plan for the,
the fall
Yeah.
agenda.
okay.
And if there's anyone who's interested in helping with the Juneteenth event or the
Yes.
Pride event,
Yes.
Yeah.
more than
Volunteers.
happy to receive some additional
Right.
support.
Right.
Yeah.
So we need to have like a volunteer list ready to sign up that day too,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yep, that's a great idea.
And I know I emailed Cynthia about this. We should potentially reach out to George and be like, and ask him if he wants to be part of
Yes.
volunteer list. And moving forward, any members that then leave are just
Mhm.
auto added to the volunteer list until we want off it, because
Mhm.
I think that's a good way to stay involved, even
Mhm.
though you aren't part of the committee anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so we'll move on to the logo contest. That's the next item on the agenda. Review and discuss the logo contest. So I think that the dates were recently updated for that on the website.
Yes, so Friday was the day we got the website updated finally. And we also got a donation. Beth mentioned that they are willing to spend $50 for the gift card. So that all was included in that email, and the website is updated. Now, I have the email part left, which
Yeah.
I was supposed to do today, and I got caught up in other things. But
Mhm.
I should try to do that today and send it to the teachers and
Yeah.
community bulletin
Mhm.
Yeah.
and see if we get any participations.
Mhm.
Our teachers and this, and
Yeah.
And so we're voting on April 8th? Is that what we're still doing, or are
I
we
think
gonna?
we'll
was-
we'll reevaluate it that day because that's
Yeah.
the date we have given. If it
Okay.
happens, it happens. Otherwise, we'll either extend or we'll call it off. But we
Yeah.
have everything set in motion now
Perfect.
Yeah.
to happen.
I
Okay.
think, yeah. I think,
Because that's our next meeting.
yeah, I think
Mhm.
our, we determined last meeting that if we don't get any by April 8th, we should just drop it
And
as
give
a
it some
thing
time,
and give it
table
time, or just do other things and then not have a specific logo, or if, like Bindu said, you made a logo with Canva or something, just do something simple and,
Call it a day.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that. We can revisit it next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. So our next meeting, okay, never mind. I'm gonna just move on to the next item on the agenda. So review and discuss planning for Juneteenth, 2024. So I don't know, Ariola, if you have an update for that one?
Sure. So thanks to Holly, I did get a good list of some Black-owned food trucks, and I actually just reached out to them. So I'm just waiting to hear back. I think it's a really good list to start with. And then I also inquired in the email to them if they knew of any additional Black-owned food trucks if so, that to give that information to us as well. And Cynthia, I did CC you on the email, so we can just wait and see. So hopefully a couple more weeks, we should finalize on a list of Black-owned food trucks. Additionally, moving forward, we do want vendors and or performances and maybe special guests to come with the celebration. But I think we should secure the food trucks first because that's the main focus. And once we have that, we can reach out to the Parks and Recreation folks and then secure that, and then move forward with looking for different performers, other vendors, businesses across Shrewsbury and Worcester County that are relevant to the Juneteenth event.
Adiola, I had a question about the other vendors.
Mhm.
If we know someone, we can still start sharing the information
Absolutely.
and spreading the word out, right?
Yes, if we know someone, please start sharing. If you have your eye on anything or anyone that you think would be relevant to the event, yes, absolutely start sharing. I think that would be wonderful to get a head start on that. I just wanted to make sure we at least secure the food. My focus right now, I wanted to make sure we secure the food vendors and then, reach out to the other folks. But if you know anyone in the meantime, yeah, definitely bring them to our attention.
So my question is, I think, were we waiting to hear back from the vendors to figure out the date that we were gonna hold it?
For the date, I think June 20th, right? Did I skip a step and not get back to
I
you?
feel like maybe I'm missing the date then.
Or maybe so yeah, I think they gave us two dates. Was it the
Rain date,
13th
yeah.
and the
13th and
20th?
The
And
13th
so
and the
it's
20th,
Thursday
okay.
before and the Thursday after. And I'm thinking we should just stick with June 20th.
Okay,
It's it's the day right after Juneteenth. I think that's a more appropriate date.
okay, perfect. Okay, so June 20th.
So we had talked about the schools also, right? The schools are,
Yeah, we mentioned trying to get students in the schools involved. I haven't done any reach out.
no.
It might be.
My question was more about, I think when we had discussed it, I don't know which month we did it, but we were trying to do it before the schools closed, what I remember, because we wanted people to participate so that they're not gone on vacations, if I remember it correctly. So we
Yeah,
had two
we
dates,
did.
right? The 13th
Yeah, we
and the
discussed
20th.
Yeah, we did discuss it and we threw that out there that maybe it'd be better to stick to the week of what school is out. And I think that is the last week of school, that week of
It
June
is, I think.
13th through 14th. However, I think we had one snow day, which might bring us to the next week or so. I don't know, it's still something we can talk about. I just feel June 20th might be a more
More
appropriate.
appropriate? Okay.
Yeah.
So then we need another date for rain date because we can't go forward on the 13th as a rain date. After the 20th, we'll have a rain date because I have two dates here, 13th/20th as rain day. So the rain day has to come afterwards, right?
Yeah, the rain date should definitely come
So
after.
we need to have 20th and something else as the backup.
Okay, so what do you propose as a backup? Would we do the very next week, which would be,
So you will have to, I think, figure out with the town, right?
I think we have to, figure out with the town and then the trucks, if they're
Yeah.
available.
Trucks,
So if we do
yeah.
like the
If they're
27th, right, which is the following
Yeah.
Thursday.
let me, yep, so it'd be June 27th would be the following Thursday, which I think is still fine for a rain date. But again, yeah, we'd have to look at the food trucks and the town.
I would say be flexible, Aliola. Maybe for the rain date, keep 26th or 27th because Juneteenth was 19th, which is a Wednesday. So it may make sense if we skip a week, but I don't know which days work, but just flexibility in the terms of have two open components there, the trucks and the town. You get,
So the town, quote unquote, So that's why, yeah, we would invite the Shrewsbury Parks and Recreation Group to come in and kind of let us know if the
Correct.
27th works. So we would have to touch base with them as well.
Yep.
In addition to, as you said, the food trucks. And we can possibly see if it's not Thursday, could it be on a Friday? I think we're picking Thursdays because every single Thursday in
Got it.
June is already reserved for food
I
trucks.
understand your point. Thank you.
Yeah. So we might just want to push
Then
it.
it's easier, yes.
Yeah. And even if like worst case, we had to punt it to the 27th, at least it's a Thursday and all the other vendors would still be there. It'll just be in addition to have the Black-owned food trucks there. So I think that shouldn't be too bad.
Also, are we looking at the food? Is there like diversity in the food also, or is it?
So from what I've seen a pretty good, we haven't had any people get back to me yet because I did just reach out today. But it's Caribbean. I saw some soul food in there. I saw some like fresh kind of
That's good.
like healthy vegan choices. So it's a plethora of choices, I think.
The only reason I ask that is it shouldn't be that all of them are selling the same stuff, then they have competition amongst themselves. You
Oh, yeah, sure.
get- that's what, like, if they have something special, then it becomes unique to them, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds
I
good.
think each one brings a unique quality to them from that list. It was pretty good. And then also, I did ask if anyone knew of any other food trucks in the email I sent out to them inquiring. So hopefully we get as much. Hey, the more the merrier. I think it'll be just a great experience in general if we can pull this off. So yeah.
So when you contact the town, can you inquire, like I know the food trucks need special permission for distributing food and selling food. We had that issue with the multicultural event, that only the food that are licensed can sell it. Can you also check about the vendors? Because what if they don't, I don't know what kind of permission they need and what is provided, like table, the space, where are they going to be setting up? I know there is a farmer's market, I was told, on the other, like near the police station, I think, right? That's where they're going to be putting it up. So where are these vendors going to be? Like,
Yeah.
are they with the farmer's market or are they with the food trucks in the front? Just a little bit of clarification, because as you're going to approach more people, if we have clarity, we can give them the information. Is it
So
going
are
to
you-
be?
So yeah, so are you asking with the vendors that we are proposing, where would their initial setup be? Is that your
Yes,
question?
and what are we providing? For example, at the multicultural event, we had the tables and chairs because we were in a school, we could find it there. Mostly things were arranged from there. Some people brought their own. Again, and if it is free setup or are they paying money to set up? Sometimes that also happens. At events, people have to pay to set up. So all those are important questions, I think, to ask of whoever is setting those rules. Does it
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah, so as far as the food trucks are concerned, yeah, there's that whole policy that they do have, that we were given that information. Myself and Cynthia were given that information on an email. So that will be given to so once we secure the food trucks, I think we're on the very first step, right? Securing the food trucks. That information is all provided, and these are all licensed restaurants and people who are already operating in the state of Massachusetts who are up to date as far as their websites are concerned and everything. Then the second group would then be the vendors, and I think we don't know who they are yet, right? So we can ask Shrewsbury Parks and Recreation if they have tables, if they can provide. If not, can the town provide tables and all of that? I'm sure that'll come. Once we have an idea of who we're getting, I think we can better secure, get the answers to those questions. I think the important thing right now is just to actually get a hold of food truck people, secure that, then look for other vendors, see if we can have any performers. So kind of like taking it one step at a time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the Pride event for June 2024. And Freddie, do you want to give us an update on that one?
So we're in communication with Carly Morin about setting up a meeting the week of March 20th, either the 20th or the 22nd, I think, seem to be the dates that most people are available at the same times. So it's probably going to be one of those two. And that's all we really have so far until we actually have that meeting.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is to discuss the interview project, which I think we had talked about possibly like going forward with it and just doing something ourselves with Shrewsbury Media. Is anybody like really, you know, a good interviewer that would like to?
We can practice.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
You know, I know. I feel like Adiola, you have like a very good like
Presence.
style
yeah.
for this. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Very poised, if you will.
Aw. So why don't so wouldn't we be the first to interview each other? Like, isn't it gonna be DEIB committee being interviewed? Kind of like almost similar to what we're planning for the 25th, but just kind of like a pre-recorded version of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because I think our goal is to just like introduce ourselves and maybe
Mm-hmm.
talk a little bit about the committee, right? And what we.
Sort of share our why statements.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So why don't we, amongst ourselves here, because I know we don't need a quorum, if I'm mistaken, or if we book it as a meeting, we can have up to as many members there as possible, or we can do it with two, we can do it with, all of our members, I believe, from what Beth said the last time.
It might be more interesting and also easier to plan if we specifically do like 2 members or 3 members at a time. Because then
Okay.
if we have a quorum, then we do need to post it as a meeting.
Right.
So if we intentionally plan to have less than a quorum, we don't have to account for all of that. And then the introducing the town to the DEIB committee would extend for longer period. Like,
I like
it would be
that.
one interview and then another interview the next
like
week or
it
2
a
weeks
lot.
later.
Yeah.
I really like that idea. So yes, so why don't we, if you guys don't mind, I don't mind being the, lead on it, but if you can give me dates
Okay.
that are available between now and then the end of April. And then what I can do is hook back up with Mark and secure, do the scheduling, and then reach back out to you guys with the dates for, according to when you're available for the interview process. And I'll try to do as two at a time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, so we will send you our dates. And we can get that going. Awesome.
Great.
Is there anything else that anyone wants to?
Like, I don't know if this is one thing I noticed when I was sending Taylor the January 29th minutes that we had approved last time that I had. I noticed that the June and July minutes aren't on the website yet, like aren't downloadable on the website yet. And I did digging through my old folders of stuff, and I do have them, and according to minutes, they are approved. So I did send them to Taylor in an email. I think I CC'd you on that email.
Yes.
And I checked again this afternoon, and because Taylor never got back to me about that, and I don't want to cause I know that Beth was very concerned about having all the minutes in order for various legal reasons and stuff, and I just want to make sure that she knows that we do have that, but then also I want to just make sure that those get to Taylor so that she can post them when she has time to.
Right. So Taylor does have them, right? 'Cause
Yeah, I
you
did
emailed
email them to
yeah.
her. She never got back to me in the email, but she does have an email that is sent to her that has them in it.
Yeah, yeah. And I think if we approved it,
We
I think-
approved it
I think
according
we
to the August minutes and
yeah.
according to the July minutes, both the June and the July minutes are approved.
Yeah, so I think we're,
We're-
I think we should be good. right?
Okay.
I think we did what we were supposed to do for that,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Okay. All right, so I think before we adjourn, then, would we like to talk about next month's agenda?
I had a question for potential new business for us.
Okay?
I'm gonna look it up because I brought it with me. We have the town common is lit for the December season, regardless of what holiday people participate in.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw a comment on one of the community forums wondering if the town common might be lit up for other major holidays,
Mm-hmm.
such as Ramadan or Eid.
Mm-hmm.
Or I thought too, Diwali might be another good one.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know, sort of, I think that would be a wonderful sign of inclusion for the community because it's very visible. And to be able to have the lights in the common that correspond with holidays for other major religious traditions. I would assume that there would be costs involved on two aspects. One would be the actual placement of and removal of the lights.
Mm-hmm.
They use a company to do them now for the December event, and then whatever cost the electric is. I was curious if perhaps it could be something that DEIB could take on as something, or it's something we just need to find the right group to suggest it to and make a recommendation, because I don't know who's actually in charge of it from the town.
Right. Okay, that's a good place
Yeah.
to start.
We had, I think, briefly chatted on that. I think Adiola, Cynthia, you were.
That is not ringing a bell for me, sorry.
So it was suggested that why remove and put it every time, because there is always something going on. So if there is a way to have them permanently put on and then lit at the times when it's
Yeah.
needed. Only when the festivities are gone that you own it.
Mhm.
If that is a solution,
Or if,
we'll have to go through the Parks and Rec, or I don't know who does it, but we'll have to find out from the town.
yeah, or if there's something other than lights that could be done in a similar way.
Or if people, like, for example, sometimes the church, the temples, somebody's involved in bringing up something to bring the awareness, they want to make some donation towards it. If the town can't afford it, I don't know. Like, everybody can contribute a little bit and then it can be done. I don't know the financial thing,
Yeah.
and it always gets caught when we're talking about money. So
Yeah.
that's a question to be asked. Who is paying for that? Who's putting it up? Who's paying that bill?
Yeah.
And I'm curious, what would be appropriate symbolism? You know, the plain white lights work in December, but would there be other colors that would be more appropriate for Ramadan or Diwali or Eid, rather than the plain white lights, so it can be distinct and culturally appropriate?
Yeah.
That's a good question to ask.
So maybe the first step is figuring out who puts up the lights.
Yes.
And who does that part, and then we can,
Second part is who
Start from
pays
there.
for it.
yeah, and then figure out where we can go from there. I think the issue with maybe keeping lights up is that, for example, like Ramadan, I think starts today,
Yes,
right?
Yes.
And then.
for a month.
For a month, and then, like, I don't think we have
Diwali is 5 days.
in,
It fluctuates from October to November anytime.
right, and so then, Do you know what I mean? So like, if we're gonna have lights stay up for a prolonged
So we
period
are
of
only
time-
talking about few religions here. There are others.
Yeah.
Yeah,
People will come up. Hey,
Yeah.
why aren't you including me? Hey, why
Yeah,
aren't you
yeah.
including me? So if you're going to be inclusive, you will have to have a calendar that is all inclusive.
right,
And the right organizations telling us what the right dates are. We
Yeah.
can't come up with the dates because, like, for even Ramadan, it changes
Mhm.
how the moon.
right,
So
right.
we
So I
want to
think
be
there are a lot of
culturally
moving
appropriate
parts.
to, right?
Yeah,
Instead of doing the right thing, I don't want to do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
And again, this is for peace. We are doing it for peace. We want to follow the peace, and that's what we are trying to suggest, that we are all inclusive.
right.
Right?
Yeah,
People should not think it like, oh, we are talking about only the religions that we follow. Of course, we will know about them, but we want to be all inclusive. So we would encourage whoever is watching to let us know. Email, there is an email listed on the website. Let us know, what do you celebrate? When do you want the lights on?
yeah.
And
come
please
to our
attend our
community
forum. Yes, please.
Please come to our
Come
community forum
participate.
and tell us. Yes.
Talk to us.
So that would be, all right, so that's a good idea.
Thank you, Holly, for bringing it up.
Yeah, that was a great idea. Can I ask a quick question? I think we touched on this last meeting about an email, having a Shrewsbury DEIB email. I think that would be so effective, especially
Yes.
as we're reaching out to all of these different folks and vendors to just be official. I
Yeah.
know Beth mentioned something about who's going to,
We'll have to follow up.
you know, follow up with the email, but I know they have forwarding options with emails. You could just kind of forward it to,
Yeah.
you know, we can rotate a call or forward it to the chair and the vice chair. I'm volunteering you guys.
That's a great idea.
You
Maybe,
guys can sift it as needed or triage it to whoever, if, you know, belongs to, or even Taylor can get it forwarded and then she can send it to who it, you know, pertains to. I just think it's a good way to stay professional and to make sure that, you know, we get good responses, especially now with all of the scams out there.
oh yeah,
People are
Or going to
less
junk.
trusting
That's what I'm
of
worried about.
random Gmails. So
Yes.
I think it would be great if we can have an official email address.
Yes, and I know that that has to come through Taylor, so I'll email her and ask, what are,
And in the
what
meantime,
can we do for that?
if the website can say that attention to DEIB forum, that way she can forward it to the chair or anyone who is dealing
Oh,
with.
that's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
subject line should say DEIB forum. So that way, like, you know, in the sense,
Yeah.
it's easier for her to scan through it. Just look at that and just forward it to
Yeah.
somebody else too. But yeah, from the side that we are sending the email, if we have an official email, it will look good.
That part,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because even I was skeptical about sending it to all the teachers because it's a personal email and they were
Right.
like, I don't know who's talking to me here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So official emails really do go a long way.
Yes, I agree. Okay. So if there are no other items, we can adjourn. May I please have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
I second it.
And we'll do roll call. Adiola, Freddie?
Yeah.
Yes.
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 And yes for me, and so
Thank
we
you.
adjourn at 7:10. Thank you.
Have a good night.